Hi, this is John Malvey from My Bookkeeper Software. And in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to manage credit card expenses and do credit card reconciliation. So setting up credit cards to pay for your regular expenses. Under company, you'll see an option to set up company credit and debit cards. And this is going to focus on credit cards particularly and not debit cards. The debit cards will typically just hit your bank account. Credit cards will go to a payable account and you'll make a payment to the vendor, the bank at some point down the road. So when you set up a credit card for a company, you put in the card description, and then there'll be an option to set up the payable account that is associated with this card. And it's important to do that for the reconciliation process because as we make payments to the bank for the credit card, this will be used to track what's going to show up as payments in the reconciliation process. So if you were to add a new card, so let's say I was going to add a Citibank card under the payable account, if you don't have one set up already, right, if you just clicked on new, it will default to add the chart of account that you need. So it'll give it a description, call it anything you want, but it's got the group and the type all set up automatically for you. So you can just simply, add that to the list there. And once you have that set up, then typically you would just make your payments as you normally would under credit card expenses. Nothing so you would just, whatever the account is, you just go through and do your transactions as normal. And now what you also want to do is set up a vendor for your bank. So in this case here, I have a vendor for Chase Bank. And if I go in here and on the detail tab, you'll notice that the account is defaulted to that payable account that is set up for that card. And this is what's important because when I go and make a payment for them, if I'm going to make an electronic payment, and I select Chase Bank, you'll notice that the account is set up to that payable account. And when this transaction happens, it's going to be recorded as a payment to the credit card company when we do the reconciliation. So it's important when you set up the card to set up the vendor for your bank so that when you make payments, it's using this payable account. And then when you go to do the reconciliation under the banking, go to reconciliation, the screen is looking a bit different than what it was in the past. And so here you would select the card that you want to reconcile. In this case, here it's my Chase. It's going to go through and pull all of the transactions, all the pay card transactions that were done using that card. And that's going to show up here. And when I go to select my payments, it's going to give me all the payments to that vendor using that credit card payable account. And so this is where here you would go in and select what the payments that you made. It will go back the previous 30 days. If for some reason you need to apply a payment that was prior to that, you can do show more and it'll go back a little bit further to show that. And if you needed to add a missing payment, you can do that here. It'll pull up the credit card transaction screen. You can go through, make your payment, make the expense transaction that you missed, and it'll show up here. And then once back at this screen, it's very similar to how it looks for reconciliation of your regular bank account, where you just go in and select the different transactions and the payments. You'd put in your beginning balance. The purchases and payments will add up automatically as you select them from here. There are sections for interest and fees if you need to add those as well. And then you put in whatever the current statement balance is, and it'll show you the difference, and you can reconcile from there. And once you save these, then these items will fall off of here so that they be marked as reconciled. So, and that's all there is to it. So this is the new way to do credit card reconciliation. And thanks for being a bookkeeper customer.